Whitley, we are back for another episode of Erin and Whit. Cheers to
We
that.
have made it. And
Oh
this
my
is going to
gosh.
be a fun one.
This is going to be a fun one. It
Favorite
has
one
been
yet.
hard to get set up, but that is why it's going to be a fun one. Whitley, give them all a rundown of what they can expect this episode.
First and foremost, we have a very special guest joining us today, straight from OKC. Just landed to talk the finals. We're going to talk about, is this a new era? Are we officially ushering in a new era in the NBA?
I think
sure
so.
feels like it.
It does.
Definitely feels like it.
It absolutely
Stephon Diggs, Cardi B. We have to touch on this topic. The boat video that came out. We have some thoughts.
Very interesting. Some pink thoughts.
And we're going to tell a couple of tattoo stories.
Stick around.
Because a fan got the Halliburton tattoo, the choke celebration.
It was actually a fire tattoo, but I don't know if I would have put another
Yeah.
man's face on my body.
So we're going to tell you some of our tattoo stories.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so with no further ado, obviously a lot to talk about tonight, and we are going to introduce you to our first guest on the episode, and it's only right that we have a legend in, of course. Marc Spears of ESPN has decided to join us today for Erin Whit to talk some NBA Finals. Marc, thank you so much for coming in and talk to us today.
What are y'all sipping on?
Sauvignon Blanc, what else?
But who's?
I wish it was Kendall Jackson, but it's not. I don't actually. Their Chardonnay is good. Kendall Jackson.
Mm-hmm. Did
You know he's the.
Can I get y'all some Chardonnay for the show?
Absolutely.
Yeah, oh, don't even ask us twice. Are you
Yes. You-
Yeah. I gotta get some Kendall Jackson Chardonnay on the show, man. Since y'all like white,
I would love some
maybe some Hartford family. You know,
I would love that. Some
I
Kendall
got a
Jackson.
couple
I don't know if
places
I've
in the
ever
Kendall
had any
Jackson
Kendall
family.
Jackson Chardonnay. I don't know if I've had any Kendall Jackson wine at all at this point.
You tripping?
I know, because I've heard you guys
The
speak about it.
Chardonnay is the hottest selling Chardonnay ever.
I gotta have some.
Mhm.
That sounds
All
like
right.
my
I'll hook
vibe.
it up. I know some people, you know.
I know, Marc, look, we know you know people because you are legit that guy in the Bay Area and beyond. So let's start there because you just touched down. You literally just hopped off the plane and got settled in as you're about to cover the NBA Finals once again, something you're not used to. I want to know, did you see, I think we all saw OKC possibly making it to the finals this season after the year that they've had. But did you see the Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam getting the Pacers to the finals up against OKC?
Well, in terms of OKC, to me it was finals or bust for them.
Mhm.
They had the best record from the start of the season to the end. They were 16 games better than Houston, who was in the second spot. And you're going to drive me crazy, keep holding your glass like that. Will you hold this down? Because you're warming up the wine by holding it like that. That's what the stem.
I'm trying to teach her.
It's so funny. Honestly, he was the first person to actually teach me how to properly hold it and
You're
how
so
to properly
Memphis.
like swirl it. I am so Memphis. You know me, Marc. Oh my gosh.
You
Okay.
gotta help
Okay.
her with. But anyways, back to what I was saying. No, so I just really thought that for the Thunder not making it to the NBA Finals would be disappointing season, a failure of a season. And they've made it, and they should be the favorite. In terms of Indiana, yes and no. I thought that the Celtics were the best team, but in a lot of ways, I thought Indiana was in the East. But I did think that Indiana was perhaps the second best team in the East. Third, probably behind Cleveland, but certainly formidable. They had the best record in the Eastern Conference after January 1, and I was paying attention to them. It's just like, we get caught up in watching the New Yorks and the Bostons and the
Right.
Warriors and the Lakers and all the sexy teams and everything, and you forget about Indiana. I hate to admit that I pretty much see every team every year.
Yeah.
And Indiana is like one of like 4 teams that I have not seen in person this year.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
Really? That
Yeah,
says
so
a
that's-
lot about
I hate to
Indiana because
admit
they
that, but
do
that's
fly
about
under
to
the
change.
radar. Say
That's
that again.
definitely about to change. I mean, Halliburton has had an amazing second half after a slow start and being called overrated by his colleagues. Siakam, you've seen him before with the Warriors in the 2019 finals. You know what he could do. Miles Turner is a really talented player. They got a deep bench. They got great coaching. I like the Thunder in this series, but no, I don't expect it to be a quick one. I expect a long series.
Really? That was going to be my next question because I'm thinking in my head, I think Indiana, I think they're a great team. And I think that they are going to, this series, that's the best possible matchup for OKC to, make it a series.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But I was going to ask you realistically, how much of a chance do you think the Pacers have against Oklahoma City? Oklahoma City.
Well, I think the key for them is they got to run.
Mm-hmm.
They are amazing when they're pushing the pace. So I mean, expect to be watching a tennis match, not a basketball game. These guys are going to be flying up and down the court. Um, but the one thing they don't want to do is be in the half court set for most of the game. Yes, the Thunder are just phenomenal defensively. They don't need to switch. Lou Dort is first team All League defender. J Dub's a All NBA defender. SGA is a good defender, and then you got two shot blockers in the back. You got in Chet and Hartenstein, and then Caruso coming off the bench is a solid defender. In the half court, they're just a menace to deal with. So they got to keep that pace going. How you do that? It's easier said than done. But I mean, actually, when I played at Foothill College in Los Altos, my second year, we ran an offense where Whit used to play hoops, so she understands this. Not that you don't.
Oh, you,
As did
Eric,
I. As did I. And I played in college, and you know this, Mark.
I know I'm messing with you. I just want you to shout out your college real quick.
CBU, Christian Brothers University. Don't do me. It's a D2. It's okay. We still hoop.
No, that's all right.
It was paid for.
Hey, you played. You was on scholarship.
I was on scholarship, full ride, baby. Full ride. Yeah, no
Well,
head
so
baby
check this out. We ran this offense where we had to shoot within 12 seconds.
No, yes. I know the drill. Yeah, well, I know
and
the
I hated
drill.
it.
We
It
didn't run
didn't
the
well.
offense.
It didn't do well for me and my recruiting, but that was offense we ran. And when I watch Indiana Pacers, I see that. Like, you're the Thunder. You got to get back. I hope they worked on their conditioning because this is going to be a track meet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a track meet too, especially with OKC being the defensive team that they are. But I want to ask you because you just mentioned J Dub, who is a Santa Clara, I should say alum, but I don't know if he graduated from Santa Clara because he did 3 years there before going into the NBA draft, and of course he's with OKC. But then Santa Clara well represented in the finals because they got Lloyd Pierce on the other side, the
Yeah.
Pacers' lead assistant, who played alongside Steve Nash when he was playing with the Broncos. Just
Yeah.
want you to kind of speak to that championship pedigree that maybe people are, being able to be, I don't know, trained or groomed to have coming through Santa Clara. As we know, Brandon Pajemski, that plays with the
Yeah.
Warriors, came out of Santa Clara as well. I think that's a school that kind of flies under the radar, but they got some stars coming out of there,
Mhm.
clearly.
Steve Nash, Kurt Rambis. I've known Lloyd since he was in the ninth grade.
Wow.
There's a park. I don't know if it's still hot anymore. I grew up in San Jose. It was called Cherry Park, and that's where you got your stripes. Like if you could play well at Cherry Park against the OGs, then you was nice. And if you lost a game, you might as well leave or wait for an hour because it's going to take time for you to get back on the court. And so you had to be good to get on the court for the older guys who want to take you. And Lloyd, when he was in the ninth grade, he would get picked. Like I was a senior in high school at the time. He was in the ninth grade. He would show up, and he was the only young, like the young kids or the dudes that were trash. They would go on the other court. Lloyd would be there with his boys, but he would get to play. And great defender, defender at Santa Clara. Played overseas for a minute. One of the best high school basketball players in San Jose history, and just a really good friend of mine. We've known each other for a long time, and it's been amazing to see his growth from being a Santa Clara assistant to the Warriors, to the Grizzlies, to the Sixers. I feel like I'm missing somebody, and then obviously he was the head coach with the Atlanta Hawks, and he's I have a story running on him on Wednesday. He wants to get back in. He's working to get back in.
Oh,
And
cool.
he did 3 seasons with the Hawks, and I think he's learned a lot under Rick Carlisle. I think he's ready. I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't gotten an interview.
Yeah.
Since he's departed from the Hawks. I don't know why. He's got a brilliant basketball mind. He also coached with USA Basketball. on the 2020 Olympic team. So just keep an eye on him for the future. There's not a lot of openings right now or this year, but it doesn't make sense to me that he hasn't gotten an opportunity. And I'll say this about J-Dub. I actually apologize to him because I watched him play like his sophomore year or his freshman year, right? I think I saw him play San Jose State, but he's a freshman, so I wasn't really thinking much of him. I'm like, yeah, he's all right. He's nice. I wasn't thinking NBA. But I think what threw everybody off was the COVID year. I didn't see him. They were playing at where the Santa Cruz Warriors are playing. So I didn't see him. He was off the radar to me. And entering his junior year, he was like 52nd, like in the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't scream, I need to go watch this guy play, right, locally. Then the draft came. And I was like, oh, this dude from Santa Clara's in the green room? It's like, what? What? How did I miss him? And I found out
actually at the
Bill Duffy
venue.
was his agent. I called Bill. I'm like, Bill, why'd you tell me about this guy, man? Yeah, so I apologize. I was like, man, I was late on the J-Dub bus, man. But his coach, I'll tell you guys something. I'm sneaking in. I'm giving you a sneak preview of my story.
I was about to ask for one. You know me.
Herb Sendek actually called him J Drip.
J Drip. Okay.
Because he said all that stuff he does now, the way he dresses and carries himself, the swag he has. He said he had that in high school. So he used to call him J Drip. I kind of like J Drip better.
I like J Drip.
I love that.
I'm E-Dub, so I like J Drip.
You're E-Dub?
I am E-Dub.
I didn't know that.
Everybody calls me E-Dub because it's so many errands in the world and playing basketball.
Yeah.
There was so many errands on my high school team, or so many E's that I couldn't be. You only have to have it's a one syllable thing or it's a nickname. So I was like, I couldn't be E because it was too many E's. So I was E-Dub, and that was
I like that.
That's kind of dope. I don't remember that.
But
he told me he didn't like it.
Literally, it's on the back of one of my Lettermans.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah, but he told me he didn't like the nickname. He likes J-Dub better.
He likes J-Dub better than J Drip.
I like J Drip.
J Drip
is
too.
saucy.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk to him about that.
I don't know. I'm gonna call him J Drip from now on.
I agree. I think look, stamp it. Stamp J Drip.
I think
J-Dub.
I think he needs to stick with that.
I
feel like J-Dub just like kind of blends in with everything. Like it's just like it doesn't stand out as much.
It does. J-Dub is like so common because the dubs are common. Anytime you have a W in your name, everybody's like dub.
Dub. Exactly.
I should have known this, Mark, before when All-Star Week happened. I was at the agency party and he walked in. And if I had been like, "What's up, J Drip?" He should have known that I
but
knew.
Now you know.
He would have known. He would have been like, where you know me from? Like, we go way back. You don't remember, bro? Like, what?
I went to Santa Clara.
Look, I was in your class. You know, I sit right next to you.
But I do think I talked to Herb Sendek, the coach there, and he said J Drip success. I'm gonna call him J Drip. Played a role in Podziemski and ended up going to Santa Clara as well.
Yeah.
Really?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
I was like, okay, this guy was able to go to the NBA from there. Maybe I can too, and it happened.
That's wild. That's the backstory.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh! Now you were talking about head coaches.
Yeah, and open positions, open head coaching positions. Today, the big news: Tom Thibodeau, the Knicks. How do you feel? Did you see this coming? Them parting ways with Tibbs?
No. I mean, I thought he was on a hot seat, but getting to the Eastern Conference Finals, I assumed he was good. I've known. See, I'm dating myself. I've known Tom for a long time. He was when I covered the Celtics when they won in 2008. He was an assistant coach.
Oh wow!
And so I knew him before he got his opportunity in Minnesota and New York, and I kind of feel bad for him. Like to take a team to the Eastern Conference Finals that hadn't been there in 25 years, and you lose your job. To me, that tells me that the behind-the-scenes meetings with the players, and somebody said something. Not somebody, some people said something.
It's giving Mike Malone vibes.
Yeah, Brunson publicly, he said that he wanted him as his head coach, right?
Yeah, but that don't mean everybody else did.
That's true.
But that,
it was their first in what, 25 years?
What's that?
Yeah, It was their first in what, 25 years that they made it back to the Eastern Conference Finals? That was the
Yeah.
first time, right? So you
Yeah.
mean to tell me in 25 years, no one else could do this? I did this and I'm
Yeah.
chopped 2 days later,
Yeah.
3 days later?
Yeah. That's he got an extension, so he'll be all right financially. He got first world problems, you know. But the guy I'm keeping an eye on, it's really interesting, is an Oakland guy, Johnny Bryant. I don't know if you're familiar with that name. He's up for the Suns job. He's a finalist for the Suns job. I think we may know tomorrow, or I don't know if you guys are dating this.
That's all right. Go ahead,
Wednesday.
drop that bomb. Let's get a little razzle dazzle in here. Oh.
No, I think I wouldn't be surprised if the Suns job is announced on Wednesday. And Johnny is a O'Dowd graduate, played at Utah, Oakland kid, and he was an assistant with the Knicks for several years. Donovan Mitchell loved him. He coached him in Utah and was able to convince him to leave New York to go to Utah. But, you know, Johnny's a name that probably comes up. I'm sure Mike Malone comes up. But to me, this sounds like a player deal, kind of. Although, I don't know. It's strange because your best player publicly and attitudinally, I don't know if that's a word, said that he should be back, and then he's gone. But I'm just kind of reading between the lines. Just because he loved him doesn't mean everybody else did.
That's true.
That is true. That is
Because
true.
they did have a lot of talent offensively, but I feel like Brunson got all the touches he want. Cat was second, and everybody else got leftovers.
Yeah.
Well, you got to the Eastern Conference Finals. How greedy can you be?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, obviously, there must have been some very interesting conversations over the last couple of days for him to lose his job. Because to me, that sounds like this decision was made after talking to the players.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it came out. When did they play? When did they
played? The game was what, Saturday?
Saturday. This is Tuesday.
Yeah.
So,
sound like some phone calls.
To me, they had some exit interviews and something was said.
That makes sense. Yeah.
That's I'm not saying, but that's how it feels.
But okay, so sidebar, just a quick question on this, because this is insight that as a reporter, I don't necessarily have, and I know you probably do because you've spent the time in doing this job. When you think about that, exit interviews, players talking about the coach, if that is the case and your best player says they want you, is it more about quality? I mean quantity? Like if more than one player has said this thing, maybe it's something more so than
well, I mean, yeah,
quality.
You gotta assume that ownership and management weren't ecstatic either for whatever reason, right? One thing that's interesting is Jalen Brunson's dad is on the staff. So typically when a new coach comes in, he'll want to bring his own people. So does Jalen's dad lose a job? We're going really deep in now. I haven't even heard anybody talk about that, but yeah, his dad's on the staff. But I mean, like if I'm getting this job, I think you have to hire Jalen Brunson's father. It's part of the staff as well.
Yeah.
You know, because obviously I think his dad helped get the best out of him on the floor. No one knows him better.
Well, I think that is absolutely something.
But I got a call from somebody today. They mentioned, do you think Sam Cassell is going to get in, look at this? It's the Knicks. It's a pretty job, but it comes with drama.
Yeah.
So it's like, be careful what you wish for, right? Like you get this bright light that even the guy that solved it gets canned before, 2 wins away from getting to the finals.
Two wins away. And one of those losses being a wild shot that kept the game, kept the Pacers in it in game one. So it's like, who hits that shot in most cases? And if that shot is not made, are we talking about Tom Thibodeau looking for a new job today? I don't know. I don't know about that. Okay. So you spoke about players. I want to know, if we bring it back to the Bay Area just for a second and we talk about the Warriors. Obviously, one of the hot topics with the Warriors have been
Jonathan Kuminga.
And what is his future with the Warriors? That said, what do you think? Do you think that the Jonathan Kuminga era, me and Whitley both agreed in one of our previous episodes that we do think the JK era is over, not because he's not a great player, but because maybe he doesn't fit the Warrior system or what they're looking for in their future? What do you
Yeah.
think? Do you think they stick with them or do you think they deal them?
I think the Warriors have to figure out a way to either keep him or trade him to get something back. You can't lose the asset for anything. Got to look at it from a business standpoint. I've seen players like that get signed and traded later. Nene, I don't know if you remember a guy named Nene, played
Yeah,
for the
actually, I
Denver
do. Yeah,
Nuggets.
Nene. Yeah.
Yeah, Masai Ujiri was a general manager of the Nuggets at the time. He signed him 2 months later. Once he was eligible, he traded him to the Washington Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
So I think with JK, the one thing when you're a restricted free agent, there's 29 teams. You got to find your agent. I don't know. His agent got to find one team to fall in love with him, two teams to fall in love with him, somebody to offer an offer sheet that, offers a poison pill in it. You know what a poison pill is?
No, what's the poison pill? I just know the Matrix.
Like
Red pill, blue
like
pill.
things in a contract to make it less attractive to match. Like whether it's money, whether it's I remember when Andre Miller signed an offer sheet with the Nuggets years ago from the Clippers, they had like, we'll pay him $10 million of his contract that season. Like, I think he was getting paid like 13 million, and they're like, oh, we're going to pay him 10 million on October 5. Like, like knowing that the Clippers were cheap, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
they're going to give him a
yeah.
bunch of his money up front. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but it just takes one team to love him and say, hey, we're going to, like, some young, small market team that got money
Mm-hmm.
should take a chance,
Mm-hmm.
because one of the two things happen: either they match or you get them, right? You really don't lose nothing, but you're going to gain a interesting player that I just think needs an opportunity,
Agreed.
uh, who's under 25 years old. But the
Agreed.
thing is, like, what's the number? Is it 15? Is it 20? Is it 25? I don't know that he could get to 30. And then you're also talking about a player who's won a championship already. I think the Warriors to him might feel like, you ever had a job where you're like, they're not going to appreciate me till I'm gone? I kind of feel like it feels like that probably for him. And so I'm sure he would, I don't think he would cry about going somewhere else.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So that's the thing, is like, let's see how good his agent is, what kind of offer sheet he could give him, what team is willing to take a chance. I do think the way he played in the last series helped his value get back. I think his value had dropped considerably. But he in the Minnesota series, I think he kind of reminded people what he could be.
He definitely did.
Agreed. I think he
Definitely
definitely
did.
showed that
So
he has.
I think it's a 50-50 deal. I know that's not making a great prediction, but it takes one. Just remember what I said. It takes one team to love him.
That's
And
it.
who is that team?
Look, I think it's a team out there. I've always said I think he's a fit for somebody in the NBA. He showed that he can play. It's just a better system that
Like, if I'm
fits.
Orlando, if I'm Memphis, like teams like that could use just another additional athletic talent. Like, even if I'm like Washington, like
I didn't even think about
Sacramento,
Orlando. I kind of like that.
yeah,
Orlando.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then, if he does go, then maybe the Warriors get some pieces back in the process too. It's
They
never really
absolutely
great pieces you get back, right? Like remember, I guess, yeah, but yeah, we'll see.
they need some pieces back.
They
Look,
need-
the Warrior needs some pieces. Okay, that is.
They have. I mean, I just like they have to get something,
They need something.
especially if you give up.
But you can't lose them for nothing.
Exactly. You can't. But this is your 24th finals that you've covered, right? Like we
Yeah.
said, you just landed 24 is crazy. You have to have some stories. You have to have some good stories. What was your favorite finals that you covered?
Or the best story
Yeah.
from the finals?
Some juicy stories. Spears, give us some juicy stories.
I don't know that. Well, I mean, I think the juiciest thing I remember during two things. I remember during the game was when the Pistons played the Lakers. I think it was like 2004, and Dr. Bus, God rest his soul. Remember, he came to the game like he brought like 6 women from him with him.
And who did this?
There was the former owner of the Lakers.
The Lakers. Yeah, I thought I heard you say
so he was like,
yeah.
he was like in his 70s.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Now, 6 women.
Hey, you know what? If I had that kind of money, I'd be rolling up.
And he brought them to the finals. Like,
I'm like, what?
Where, I mean, everyone's going to see you.
Like, tell me this.
Oh, he wasn't tripping. That was
I know he would. They wouldn't either.
Yeah.
They was tiptoeing right on in there to them seats.
So that's kind of like the favorite thing I remember. I guess from a basketball standpoint, I was at the game when Iverson stepped over. Ty Lue was at that game.
Oh, that was legendary.
Game the Sixers won in the series. I was at the game when Ray Allen hit the 3.
Oh, my gosh.
When Kevin Garnett yelled, "Anything is possible." If you look at the video, I was standing behind him.
No.
Whoa. Okay. Wait. You mentioned Iverson. That was the only jersey I ever owned.
Really?
You mentioned the Kevin Garnett moment. I'm watching this in my little brother's room, and we are like bawling because my cousin is like repeating. I want my mama, and because that's what he said after he said anything is possible. Like to know that
but you know what he was supposed to say.
What? Because to know that you were in that moment is crazy.
It was a commercial. It was supposed to. It was he was with Adidas. And their motto was, "Impossible is nothing." So you're supposed to say impossible is nothing.
No.
He said nothing is impossible.
He said anything is possible.
He did. He said anything is possible. That's what
anything is possible. First he said anything is possible. And then he yelled, "Anything is possible."
Imagine.
And if you look at the video, I was like standing right behind him.
Oh, I have to watch that back.
I am too.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Imagine you supposed to be promoting your brand.
That would be me. I totally fumbled the entire tagline.
It was supposed to be impossible is nothing.
Impossible.
I think anything is possible sounds better.
Me too. That's kind of to be in his defense.
Yeah, anything is possible, but maybe it was already trademarked.
Oh yeah, I feel like I don't know. Whoever wrote that though could do a little bit better.
Impossible is nothing.
But when I found out that he was supposed to say impossible is nothing, then it kind of took away from it. I was like, damn, that was an ad. I thought that was like a natural emotion, you know.
I thought it was too. Until this moment, I never knew that this was a plug to Adidas.
I didn't either. I thought that was his genuine reaction.
Exactly. I thought he was like, anything is possible. Like I never thought I was going to get this moment, but now I know that anything is possible.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what I thought Kevin Garnett was saying.
I'll say this, as tough as Kobe Bryant was, one thing he admitted to me that he was scared of, when they lost that finals in 2008, the Celtics fans were pelting their bus with rocks and shaking it on their way back to their hotel.
They were shaking the bus?
Yeah, and throwing rocks at it.
After that game?
Yeah, the Lakers lost the series.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm just saying.
When they were driving back to the hotel, they're leaving the arena. It was such pandemonium outside. People recognized that it was the Lakers bus, and they started messing with the bus.
Oh, dang.
Wow. That is absolutely crazy. Okay, you have been there for some legendary finals moments. That is absolutely crazy. When you think back, knowing that you've been in all of these moments that are still talked about to this day, what did you think? Marc, when you came up, did you grow up thinking I'm going to be a part of some of the biggest moments in sports history? Like, is that something that you thought was going to be your reality?
No, I grew up in San Jose. I went to a junior high called Silverdale Junior High. And when I was in the 7th grade, somebody from the Warriors came and spoke to my class at our career day. So I was just hoping to get some free tickets, free T-shirt, bumper sticker, something.
Wow.
And for some reason, the dude, he didn't have nothing to give, but for some reason, he pointed at me and he's like, "Well, what do you want to do when you grow up?" And I was like, "I want to play for y'all." Like, well, what if you can't? And at that time, I'd read a stat in Sports Illustrated that less than 2% of all NBA players, less than 2% of all college basketball players make it to the NBA.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like a realistic kid. Like when I was shooting in front of my house, I was like, game winning shot for Georgetown, game winning shot for, for LSU. I wasn't like, to me, like I was like, NBA is like too far fetched, right?
Wow.
So, the guy actually had told me, he said, if you can combine in the career day what you love most in life with what you do best in school, you'll find a job you're happy with every day. And I really thought about it. And I'm like, well, I love to write. What I love most is sports. So if I can't be at the NBA Finals, the Super Bowl, or the World Series as a player, the next best thing is to be there. So I decided to be the sports writer in the 7th grade. And I wrote Marc Purdy from the San Jose Mercury News. He wrote me a letter on what to do from 7th grade through college. I followed everything to a T.
Wow.
And I didn't even meet him until like the 2008 Olympics in Beijing, which was crazy. And he had given me that advice in like the mid 80s, right?
Wow.
But to cover, I initially was in love with covering college basketball, college sports. I haven't covered Major League Baseball for 2 years, but in '99 when I was covering the Denver Nuggets, I'm like, I'm good. Like this is it. Like NBA was amazing to me. Like I was seeing the best every night. Like people ask me if I get tired of going to games. I'm like, no.
It
Like
never gets old.
I write about,
it never gets old.
Yeah, I'm like, I write about basketball for a living. I get to see the best players in the world. And then I've been around, I guess, so long now that I've seen, like I just saw a video today of Tim Duncan and Damani Hendricks, one of the San Jose State assistant coaches, who I need to introduce y'all to, by the way. That's a side note.
Do that. Put that on your to-do list now.
Eligible bachelor.
Kendall Jackson, eligible bachelor to 2 single ladies.
Yes, we're gonna be waiting on that Chardonnay. I'm not even lying.
Yes,
Yeah,
and the eligible
I
bachelor. I'm not gonna
shout
lie.
Out to my guy.
Mom's just playing, Mom.
Shout out to my guy Mo Thompson. He gonna hook y'all up.
Okay, shout out to him.
Shout out right now. So I'll have him watch it. He'll come deliver it.
Look,
wow,
Mr. Thompson, come on this way. Look, we need you.
But no, I
was
was watching Tim Duncan highlights, and Damani's like, I said, Damani, you ever saw Tim Duncan play in person? He's like, no. I was like, man, that dude was cold.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to see Jordan with the Wizards. I got to see Akeem Olajuwon, before he retired, Barkley before he retired, Pippen before. So I got to see a lot of the real good players before they retired in the early 90s. I mean, early 2000s.
All the legends. Let's see.
All the legends. And then don't forget.
Got to know Kobe Bryant really well.
The rest is so
and it was just interesting. I always laugh. I'm like, I covered the Nuggets for 8 years, the Celtics for 2, and then I went to Yahoo Sports in 2009, and I moved to the Bay Area, moved back home. Obviously still here, and the Warriors just happened to have a rookie named Stephen Curry at the time. So I knew Steph when he first walked in. I interviewed Clay after he worked out for the Warriors. We went to Oakland Grill. He still talks about that. How we went to Oakland Grill for breakfast. I interviewed him there. So it was cool to especially being from the Bay Area, to watch them go from trash for so long. They were so bad. To a championship team that is a legacy team now, right?
To win more championships, especially in the short time that they've won them, more than so many other teams that have been.
Yeah.
I mean, we just
got 2 teams in the
real life
finals
dynasty.
now trying to get their
we got to
first.
witness that.
Life dynasty. It still is mind-boggling to me that I'm here covering Steph Curry. And you've covered them all. All the greats.
Yeah.
Kobe.
I still remember Steph in his early year, having horrible ankle injuries. Like he wasn't an all-star right out the gate. He was an all-star. Like people forget this. Like year 4 or 5, and he used to have these like braces he wore around his ankles, and he used to get hurt. They were like, man, like that's why they were booing. I bet you, if you asked Warriors fans back then, they would have rather traded Steph than Monte Ellis. They would
Oh,
have
100%.
now.
Well, I'm gonna be real with you. Warriors fans don't know much, in my opinion.
But to be fair, back then, like Steph, his ankle injuries, it would be hard to maybe like, I guess, overlook
value
that and
might
see
not
a
have
future
been
because
as
you didn't
big.
know. You know, was he going to be injury prone his entire career?
Right.
Agree. I
Yeah.
just feel like fans are so fickle sometimes.
I think that's NBA. I think that's just
I
fans.
just feel like you gotta see it through. I'm a see it
Yeah.
through type of fan. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I mean, look at Ja
But
Morant.
another thing you guys probably don't remember about Steph, and I'll leave you with this before the time runs out. He didn't want to play for the Warriors. You
Steph
know
did?
that? No, his dad and his agent basically told the Warriors that he wanted to go to the Knicks with
That's
the next
right.
pick.
Yeah.
And that the general
I know
manager
that.
at the time, Larry Riley, who deserves a lot of respect and not as brought up enough, he told Steph's dad and his agent, I've seen him play.
Mhm.
And they're like, well, he's not going to come visit. He's like, I know he can shoot. I've seen him play. I know he comes from a good family. He don't need to visit. If he's available, we're going to take him.
Huh.
And they took him.
Match made in heaven.
Yeah. And then Steven Jackson was so upset that the team was small, and he's like, I want out. Mark, I think Jax regrets that one.
Yeah, for sure. That's crazy.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. the
Seen it all.
stories. Yes,
I
you've
know.
seen it all. I feel like now at this point I need to talk to you more because I need more stories.
Oh,
I
I
got a
could
few.
sit with you for like hours and just
Yes.
listen to you talk about all your stories.
Yes, that's crazy.
Over some KJ wines.
Exactly.
Over
Let's
some
do it.
J Wine. Come on,
Mhm.
y'all. We got y'all. Kendall Jackson,
Say,
Mr.
hey,
Thompson.
tell Mo. They ask Mo. Say, Mo, when you bringing our wine?
Okay, I'm Mo.
Mo.
I'm asking you right now. When you bringing it? We need that. We need that. Trust me. Mark, thank you so much. I know
You're the
tired.
best.
You are the best. You hop straight off the plane and do this for us.
And literally, this podcast probably wouldn't have happened if it wasn't
for you
yeah,
and Marcus
motivating
Thompson.
us and telling us to do it.
Yep.
So we
No,
appreciate
you guys
so
are both
much.
talented. And the one thing about you guys, you're both very smart and talented. And I know you guys are friends. So I think it even makes sense, a lot of sense for you guys. See, you holding it wrong again, Aaron.
Ah,
I did there too, to be honest.
okay, wait. Try again. Run it back. Here we go.
There
Real
you
friends.
go. No, I think it's great that you guys are doing this because the Bay Area doesn't have this. To me, it's an extreme shame that there's no strong women presence in radio, on sports radio in the Bay Area.
Facts.
And I've told Whit that for years. Am I right? I've said that, and I've been waiting for her to have some kind of voice, some kind of presence. Well, you guys are making your own presence, and so this is the beginning of something great, something outstanding, and something groundbreaking, and something that's going to motivate a lot of young ladies out there. So y'all keep doing your thing, and I love you both. And we'll drink some wine soon. In the off season, I'll come by with Mo too. I'll bring something else.
Oh,
get y'all on
perfect.
some reds. Y'all need to drink some reds.
Oh, I drink red.
Y'all gonna have to help me graduate to red. But Mark, we
We'll
love
get
you
you there.
too. I'm so thankful that you came on and talked to us, and so thankful that you said that about us. Even more thankful that you're gonna show me what red wines I like.
Yeah, I got y'all.
I like sweet wine, so if those are red,
Oh hell.
Memphis.
All right,
you've been
Memphis.
so young, though.
Well, I'll talk to y'all soon.
Get some rest. Thank you so
Love
much.
y'all.
We
I'm gonna get
appreciate
some
you so
sleep.
much.
All right, love you too. Have
Thank
a
you.
good finals. Wow. All right, maybe I drank too much wine. Okay.
No, never too much. All right, y'all.
To that.
All right.
Bye.
All right.
Thank you
Peace.
so much.
Good night. Oh my gosh, Mark is amazing.
Amazing. We had all these other topics we were going to talk about, but now it's just like, that's it.
Throw
That's
the
the
whole
episode.
throw the whole rundown away. Mark literally gave us all we needed to
The
know
GOAT.
about the NBA.
The actual GOAT.
Seriously, I mean, one of ESPN's best has been all over the NBA playoffs this entire time, and took the time out in his busy schedule to come and talk to us about some more NBA finals and some crazy legendary moments that he was a part of. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better guy.
No, you can't. But I could not end this episode without bragging because when I hit,
I got the money. I don't know if y'all can tell, but this is
the money green.
Money green. I ushered in the money. Come on, talk to me.
Money green.
Talk to me.
When I hit, I'm gonna brag because
Brock Purdy ain't the only one getting paid, baby.
Are they like few and far between lately? But you know what I hit? I sure hit. Let me find them.
I sure.
Let me scroll through all my losses.
Not the losses. I'm done. Hey.
Oh, yeah, here it is.
What they say?
$10 for 50.
Sometimes you gotta lose to win
money.
again. Big money?
No,
you know that song?
it's $50.
Sometimes you gotta lose to win again. Fantasia.
No, I don't know that.
Okay. All right. Fantasia.
I was trying to support you, Bobby. My head. I didn't know. You know me.
You said. I'm done. Okay. Wits it.
Oh, wits it. The last game of the Eastern Conference Finals, I hit. It was just $10 for $50. Cat free throws over 4.5 free throws made.
Cat went off.
Yeah. Well, that game he didn't go off per se.
Oh.
But he did make his free throw. Well, actually, he was missing them that game too. I thought he was going to sell me, but he made enough. That's all that matters.
Jordan, we need you hollering a little louder. Okay?
Next year.
Next year. Won't be this year. Y'all at the house.
Siakam got 36 fantasy score. Over 36. Brunson, I did 3 points in the first 5 minutes. He needed over 3 points in the first 5 minutes. Hit it.
Hit.
And I did another one as a flex play. Just won a little bit of money, but I did hit on that.
Hey.
You know what?
You know what I like to say?
You know what I'm going to call... Actually, no, I'm not going to call these this because my green bean casserole is incredible. But when I get a big hit, that's what I'm going to call green bean casserole.
Green bean.
I need you to tell...
I want to tell y'all about
everyone
this. Let me tell you something.
Had it is always hating on it.
Now, I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to bring race into this at this point, okay? I hate some casserole. Black folks don't do casserole,
and white people we know love casserole.
White people love casserole. But let me tell you something. This beautiful woman invited me over when we first met for Christmas.
Yeah.
And she told me she was cooking some green bean casserole, and I was done. I said, what am I thinking? Yo, I went back for seconds, and I don't eat casserole. That was the best green bean casserole. That was the only green bean casserole I ever ate, but it was absolutely chef's kiss.
Honestly, not everyone, it's not all made the same. And my green bean casserole, I will say, is top tier, and people hate on it all the time.
And your steaks.
When they hear, I'm like,
and
I swear you have to try it. Oh, yeah.
And your steaks.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
And
the girl can cook now. The girl can cook. She can cook. I'm going to just say it.
Oh,
She can cook. No hate. No hate.
Yes, I can cook.
Yes.
Chef Liddy Witty is what they
Liddy Witty. I love it.
You know, I get lit while I said, obviously,
Liddy Witty Hitty.
I get lit while I
no,
drink,
that's too much
obviously.
Hitties. But Liddy Witty Hitty with
yeah,
the with
Chef
tits.
Liddy Witty.
Oh, Chef.
My mom,
Chef
speaking of this,
Liddy
my
Witty.
mom told me, she's like, you guys need to do a episode where you're cooking.
Baby, my mama gonna be like, Erin, why you do that to yourself?
I can teach you my steaks.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I can cook. I just hate it. I hate cooking, but I can cook. But not no green bean casserole, baby.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm glad that you let them know that it's great.
It was.
I have certain haters out there who don't believe that it's great. And
it was so good. Get the right white person to cook it.
right here. Maybe I'll share my recipe with y'all.
I'm done.
What else? We had so much we're going to talk about. I'm going to bring up something else right now, but I'm not going to do it. We're just going to end this right now.
We're going to end it right now and see more about the tattoos on the next episode.
Oh, yes, the tattoo.
We'll talk about it next episode.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Tattoos.
That is Erin Whit. Okay, guys. Good night. Oh, my gosh.